Part 1. Wake up, you sleepyhead. And imagine my surprise when I went to my high-fidelity account and found out that I was no longer a member of WBEZ. NPR blares to life as much as NPR can blare. As I blearily awaken to a June morning, Elle is on her side of the bed, hugely pregnant, improbably pregnant. Dave, I'm in labor. This is surprising. To be honest, it has no right to be surprising. Elle is almost a week overdue, so it would be more shocking to me if she wasn't in labor. This fact does not keep me from saying something profoundly stupid. Are you sure? Yep, pretty sure. I begin to wake up fully. I am never fully myself first thing in the morning. Why did you let me wake up to the alarm? How long were you in labor before the alarm went off? About an hour. This is early labor. Women can walk and talk and are basically themselves during early labor. Elle, it turns out, had let me sleep because after the few false starts this week, she hated the idea of waking me up to observe more Braxton Hicks contractions. Should I be logging this? There is an app for this. It is a contraction timer that helps you log contractions and rest periods and helpfully tells you what stage of labor your partner is in. I will consistently misuse the app all morning and get data that is strongly contradicted by Elle's actual physical reactions to labor. I guess. Elle is standing next to the bed with her arms on the rail. Any thoughts of false labor leave my head. I have never seen her like this. She looks exactly like my wife, but different. Animal. Should I go to the diner? We have a plan. The plan is to basically use early labor as a last chance to play hooky before the baby is born. I will call into work, and we will spend early labor putting together the hospital bag, eating good food, and watching good movies. If it is not too bad, we might try to catch a matinee of Joss Whedon's Much Ado About Nothing, and hope that Elle's contractions aren't too loud. We will not be the kind of people who go to the hospital in early labor. Those people are silly. And learned everything that they know about labor from movies and TV shows. We attended a 2-day class. I returned from the diner with our usual veggie omelet for Elle, corned beef hash skillet, extra crispy for me, and Elle looks much different. When I left, she was in early labor. She is now in active labor. I set out plates for us. I pour myself coffee. She is in active labor. I sit down, begin eating, and ask her to join me. She is in active labor. I have spare thoughts about what I would be doing if I was at work right now. She is in active labor. I call the midwife. The midwife listens to me, but mostly listens to Elle in the background. She correctly diagnoses active labor and tells me that it is time to go to the hospital. I agree and hang up. There's just one thing, we haven't yet packed the hospital bag. Part 2, put on some clothes, shake up your bed. The hospital bag. For some, it's a utilitarian satchel of clothes and toiletries, akin to an overnight bag packed for a business trip. For others, it's an oasis full of reminders of home in a strange and sterile hospital environment. For us, it was largely hypothetical. Elle and I held a deep belief in a long and uneventful early labor. To be honest, if I were pressed to describe what I thought early labor would be like, I probably would have much more accurately described a rather bad case of the hiccups. The midwife says it's time to go. I've just gotten off the phone with the sprightly, kind, and energetic midwife I had secretly been hoping would be the one on duty to catch our son. The bag! Elle has started to punctuate most thoughts with what I call the labor noise. Okay, I do my best to seem authoritative and cool. I will pack the bag. You stay here and labor. My approach to packing the bag is chaotic. Things make it in or not more as a matter of proximity than any inherent virtue or use in a delivery room. Still, at least 10 minutes elapse as I throw the bag together. I come downstairs with the bag and announce that we are ready to go. Ugh! Did you grab? I can't say beyond 60% certainty that I grabbed anything besides your birthing dress, your iPad, and the racquetball. Okay, let's go. I pull up at the hospital. Our midwife is waiting outside. I cannot believe I beat you here. I had to pack the bag. If you ever want to see what a look of pure pity looks like, admit to a midwife that you just decided to pack the hospital bag after your overdue wife went into labor. I have good news. This is why I like this midwife. She is full of good news and matter-of-fact optimism. We got the tub room. Did you hear that, honey? We got the tub room. Another major tenet of our birthing belief system was that the tub room was absolutely necessary for Elle to have the natural birth she was hoping for. Her pregnancy had been greatly eased with baths and showers, and so the deep soaking tub in the tub room is a linchpin in our labor strategy. The other linchpin is the racquetball I push into the base of Elle's spine during contractions. That's nice. The midwife pushes a stray strand of hair out of her eyes. Great! Let's have a baby! Part 3. Put another log on the fire for me. Women who give natural birth are flooded with hormones. Some of them help manage pain, some act as chemical runway operators, flagging the baby down the birth canal, and some of the most important snuggle up next to the woman's ear and whisper, "This is worth it." Men get flooded with hormones after the baby is delivered, after M was delivered. I remember feeling like I couldn't leave his side, as if someone had slipped an electric collar on me in delivery, and he was the transponder. Unfortunately, there is no hormone that makes labor not boring. After all the excitement of packing the bag and rushing to the hospital, we find ourselves spending the next 6 hours hanging out. Elle's contractions are tantalizingly far apart at first. They invite thoughts like, would anyone judge me if I crank up my laptop and jot off some work emails? I decide that yes, of course they will, and try to use my phone instead. Hey, I'm not sure exactly what information you are looking for, but I would be happy to set up a phone call early next week, as my wife is delivering our son, and I do not expect to be in the office for the remainder of this week. Best, Dave. I briefly consider hitting send, but then I realize the kinds of questions that this opens me up to. I click delete draft. That sounds like a big one. Do you want the racquetball? Yes! I push the racquetball directly into the base of Elle's spine to help get her through the contraction and call over to the midwife. How's the tub coming? One thing we did not consider about the birthing tub was how long it would take to fill. The racquetball is starting to look worn and spent in my hand, and I briefly consider that I haven't played competitively in over 3 weeks. About halfway there. Do you want the birthing ropes? Birthing ropes. They talked about all of these props at birthing class, and we quietly made fun of them as exercise equipment that had the word birthing stamped in front of its name. For instance, the only difference between a yoga ball and a birthing ball is that a woman in labor is sitting on a birthing ball. Birthing ropes are Pilates ropes. They are meant to help women squat, which is meant to help with the pain of contractions. Do you want the ropes, sweetie? No, racquetball. I lament the fact that I did not bring 2 racquetballs.